Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For the last 4 years I have been working and living in China, and at the end of this year my China journey comes to an end, and I've packed up all my things and I am going traveling until however long I can. I wanted to share my journey with you guys and tell you why I made the decision to leave China. So, how did I end up in China? So back in August 2015, I was working a job that I wasn't really happy in. The managers were not treating the staff very fairly. I remember one night I'd really just had enough. I was working the night shift and I decided to go online and start searching for some jobs, and I came across a job in China. And I remember thinking to myself, why didn't I just move to China? But not really taking it seriously, so I applied for the job as well as another about 20 jobs that night. And the next day I received an email asking me to do an interview. I did the interview and then they asked me to do a demo, and after a week they offered me a position. And then I was like, shit, okay, am I really gonna move to China? And then I started doing some research about living in China and what it's like, because I didn't know anything about China. So I asked the company to put me in touch with some people from the UK that were working for them. So I started speaking to them and they started telling me about the lifestyles that they have here. I even looked at their social media accounts and I was like, wow, I want to do that. So I did. I handed in my notice. I told all my friends and family, who all thought I was mad. I put all my stuff in storage. I booked a flight, and in December 2015 I took a flight and I landed in Beijing. So I arrived in Beijing not knowing what the hell I was doing there. Really nervous as well because China is such a busy place, so it was very overwhelming, as well as having to adapt to the culture change as well. So I did my training in Beijing for like a week and a half, and then I had to go to Shenyang up in the north for a week to process my visa. And then 2 days before Christmas I arrived in Hefei, where I would be living for the next year. But I ended up actually living in Hefei for 2.5 years. So for those who haven't heard of Hefei before, it's a smaller city in China. It's in the Anhui province, and I'd say it's a small city, but for me it's huge because I come from a town with a population of around 45,000 people, but Hefei has a population of 4,008,000 people. So if that's small, my god. But as an expat community, it is very small. There are a lot of foreigners, but compared to the bigger cities like Shanghai and Beijing, it is a lot smaller. But for the most part, I really loved living in Hefei. I had a great group of friends, I travelled a lot, I just really enjoyed being a part of the community in Hefei. But it wasn't always easy. Adjusting to a new country, especially one like China, is a hard thing to do. Adjusting to the people, the language, the culture, the food, for example. It was a lot to take in, and China isn't for everyone. China is one of those countries that is just completely different to any other country that I've been to or will go to in the future. But the cost of living in the city is so low. Because Hefei is a small city, the prices are incredibly low. So I could live a full lifestyle. I could go out with my friends all the time, eat out every day if I wanted to. I could travel on my days off, even go to other countries. So after a year of being in Hefei, I decided I'm not ready to go back yet. So I did another year. And then it came to that time again. So I re-signed again. But then 6 months into my 3rd year contract, I just wasn't feeling it. Something was missing. I wasn't enjoying what I used to love. Things were different. Some of my friends had left and I just wasn't feeling as excited about China as I used to be. So me and my friends decided to go to Beijing for the weekend, and after that weekend, everything seemed so clear to me. It wasn't China that I didn't enjoy anymore, it was Hefei. It was just this community, the expat community in particular, was very small, and I wasn't meeting new people, and I was just having the same conversation with the same people all the time, and I just wanted to change. So when I got back to Hefei after my weekend in Beijing, I spoke to my company and asked them for a transfer to another city, and they asked me would I move to Nanjing. So I did, and 2 months later I moved to Nanjing, and I have been in Nanjing for now for a year and a half. Moving to Nanjing was the best decision that I have made. I was so happy here. It wasn't easy because I had to start all over again and meet new people. But eventually, after overcoming that and meeting new people, I was just so happy here. Nanjing is such a beautiful city. There are so many things to do, and it's very westernized compared to Hefei. There is a lot more things to do, there's a lot more places to eat if you don't eat Chinese food, which I don't that often. So it was just a breath of fresh air that I needed. Working and living in China gives you so many opportunities, and it gives you the opportunities not only to travel in China but also in Asia because flights are so cheap. I've been fortunate in the last 4 years to have visited over 12 cities in China and about 8 countries in Asia. So the company I have worked for the last 4 years is First Leap. It's one of the top training schools in China. So a training school is not a public school, it's like an after school thing where most companies start from 2:30 to 8:30 and then all day Saturday, Sunday, and your days off are Monday and Tuesday. Which a lot of people think, oh my god, I don't have a weekend. Where's my weekend? But Monday and Tuesday becomes your weekend because everyone else is also off. So for the majority, First Leap is a good company to work for. Now, with any companies in China, there are gonna be issues. There are many things that even after 4 years that I would be like, what? Things don't happen as quick as they do back home. Things don't get done as quickly, but that is the way they work here, and if you can just overcome with it and just go with it, it's not that bad. So after hearing stories from other people who have worked with other training centres, I feel like I got lucky with First Leap. Yes, there's been some issues, but for the most part they've looked after me and I haven't had any problems. And yeah, they're far from perfect, but I was there for 4 years, and if I didn't like it, I wouldn't have stayed that long. Teaching in China is a very easy job, Going to class and seeing kids' faces light up when they see you, it's just heartwarming. Getting to play around and jump around, dance around, dress up, just act like a fool and get paid for it, then yeah, why wouldn't I want to do that job? So after 4 years, why am I leaving? Well, I've had a great experience, but it's time for me to move on. I feel like I've achieved so many things while I've been here, but I'm ready for a new adventure. So I've left First Leap, I've packed all my things, and I'm going traveling. For how long? Who knows? Am I scared about going traveling and having no job? Hell yeah. But if you don't take risks in life, then you'll never know. And you will always sit there wondering, but what if? And I don't like to live my life like that. So keep watching my videos and follow my journey and come adventuring with Amy.